Good evening, everyone. This is Very Mellow Man, and welcome to our new Let's Play. Let's Play Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm a huge Dragon Age fan. I first started playing the games a few years ago. My brother actually got the first game. He didn't like it, so I picked it up, and I fell in love with this series ever since. It was my introduction to BioWare as a company. And basically just my entire introduction to the Western RPG as a genre. So, Dragon Age is really just a huge part of me now. Well, that was really, So, let's just get this underway. It's a little weird to be playing the third game at this point, but I don't have the first two on a streamable service, so you'll have to understand if I just want to play what I have. We're going to go for human male. Male. The reason for that is because rogue wield, rogue archer. Yeah, archer. Alright. Yeah, normal. Alright, now the reason for this setup, the human, is because in the first two games, my first character was a human noble who was a warrior who used a long sword and a shield. And the second game, well, I used a mage. So to complete the trilogy, I'm going to play a rogue. We're going to import our world state to reflect our changes there. My playthrough. Confirm world state. Alright. I don't normally fuss around much with the character creator coming up, but this is like the best character creator in any BioWare game I've played. It's just the best one. And of course, it's a lot better on the PlayStation 4 than it is on the PlayStation 3. Yeah, I own the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 versions of this game. I have the disc for PlayStation 3, and this PlayStation 4 version we're playing is a digital downloaded title. I switched to the PlayStation 4 version around the same time as I assume a lot of people did when the BioWare announced that they were cutting off DLC support for the last-gen consoles. And to be honest, all that really made me do was criticize the decision to... Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay. All that really made me do was criticize the decision to even start playing the games on the PlayStation 3. Like, if you just wait until you got the next-gen titles released, you'd have a lot more room and a lot more manpower from the console to put in a lot more content to the finished project. Instead, you're just making your entire game suffer by, well, chopping it down to run on older generation hardware. But oh well, BioWare did learn their lesson, didn't they? Ugh. The face shapes can get really weird here. I think I'll go with this one. Yeah. Skin tone. Yeah, I want a black guy. I don't feel like he looks black enough, but... Ooh, okay. Okay, that... Nope, wait. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Eye color is fine. Hair looks... Alright. 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 So yeah. So yeah, BioWare really should have just waited until the PlayStation 4 was released and then delayed Inquisition until we could get a true next-gen experience instead of trying to double dip on the PS3. Would made a lot of people a lot less angry. A lot less angry. These beards look really weird. I mean, they're really detailed too, but I want something that looks like something I'd actually use. Alright.
I just hope I can help.
Nope, I'm American.
I just hope I can help.
There we go. Ear size. Position, earlobes, cheekbones. Sure, cheek shape. So, as far as my commentary is going to go, I know far more about Dragon Age lore than I ever probably will Elder Scrolls, so you can expect me to comment more on Dragon Age lore and the story in general. Because unlike a Bethesda game, BioWare is all about story. Okay. Do I want scars? Ooh, I have a pretty nasty scar there. But you know what? That's good. This gets the point across. I'm... Alright. Rename. Let's see. What I'd like to do with Dragon Age characters is I like to name them after characters from the FromSoft series Dark Souls. So let's see. I will call you... I'm thinking of a name here. I'm trying to... Unite. No, I'm trying to remember. There's a name I'm looking for. Sorry, give me a second. Here we go. I'll call you Alon. Alon. Yeah. It's a little weird because Alon is Sir Alon, a samurai who uses a long katana. And I'm going for an archer character here. Ooh. But, you know, it works. Alon. So what we're seeing here is Alon watching a mysterious figure basically in the ruins of the explosion that we just saw when we actually started the game proper. The very interesting menu static screen. Their character is in the epicenter of the blast at the remains. He's just getting away from those creatures there. Heading towards the light. Barely making it. And what we're looking at now are the ruins of Haven. Haven Temple, where the Conclave, the event that was being used to broker peace between Masons and Templars to end the Mage-Templar War, was being held. We're imprisoned and interrogated.
Tell me why we shouldn't kill you now. The Conclave is destroyed. Everyone who attended is dead. Except for you.
Use L and X to select the response on the dialogue wheel. Yeah, the dialogue wheel... Here's the interesting thing about the Dragon Age franchise. It started out with a silent protagonist. And instead of this dialogue wheel, what you did, you just picked a line, a fleshed out sentence, and then that sentence is responded to by the NPCs. When Mass Effect got popular, the sequel retrofitted itself so that the main character spoke now, and as a result, the dialogue wheel system from Mass Effect ended up being incorporated into the Dragon Age games. That's why we have this. So let's just go with you think I did it.
You think I'm responsible?
Explain this.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I don't know what that is, or how it got there.
You're lying!
We need him, Cassandra.
Yeah, as you can see there, what's going to happen is that outside your character's control, your main character will speak in accordance to the context of the situation. Another thing that will happen is that you won't actually understand the full context of what you're going to say from these limited dialogue options. Unlike in a Bethesda game, where the entire dialogue option is written out in a full sentence. So role-playing is going to be a bit trickier here, but it won't be as like you can still role-play, obviously, but it'll be trickier here because if you're playing blind, you won't actually know what you're going to say until you say it.
I can't believe it. All those people dead?
Do you remember what happened? How this began?
I remember running. Things were chasing me, and then a woman.
A woman?
She reached out to me, but then...
Go to the Ford Camp, Liliana.
Hello,
I will take him to the rift.
What did happen?
It will be easier to show you.
Roll.
We call it the Breach. It's a massive rift into the world of demons that grows larger with each passing hour. It's not the only such rift, just the largest. All were caused by the explosion at the Conclave.
An explosion can do that?
This one did. Unless we act, the breach may grow until it swallows the world. Each time the breach expands, your mark spreads, and it is killing you. It may be the key to stopping this, but there isn't much time.
Now, in order to give yourself more, the thing about the dialogue wheel is, in order to give yourself more things to talk about, you have this investigate option, which allows you to further discuss the context of the current situation with a character.
You say it may be the key. To Doing what?
Closing the breach. Whether that's possible is something we shall discover shortly. It is our only chance, however. And yours.
You still think I did this? To myself?
Not intentionally. Something clearly went wrong.
And if I'm not responsible?
Someone is. And you are our only suspect. You wish to prove your innocence? This is the only way.
I understand.
Then...
I'll do what I can. Whatever it takes.
Ah, yes, approval. The thing about the Dragon series is that your party members all have a like
They
and
have
dislike
decided
gauge.
your guilt. They need it. The people of Haven mourn our most holy, divine Justinia, head of the Chantry. The conclave was hers. It was a chance for peace between mages and Templars. She brought their leaders together. Now they are dead. We lash out like the sky, but we must think beyond ourselves, as she did. Until the breach is sealed. There will be a trial. I can promise no more. Come. It is
God, this is so disgusting. You're,
Your mark must be tested on something smaller than the breach.
Ah, right. Alright, so approval. Basically, if you perform an action or you say dialogue sequence that your characters and party members like or agree with, they will get a number of points to increase their like meter. But if you do something that goes against their beliefs or say something they dislike, their like meter will decrease into the negative, and you'll get disapproval. Instead of a morality meter, that's basically how your character is judged in these types of games. How your party members react to your character's choices. It's one of the BioWare things. Like, BioWare's a company started with karma meters. Even even Mass Effect has a karma meter.
Are coming faster now.
Like KOTOR, Mass Effect, they both have karma meters. Like, good and bad are designated by colors. But in order to add some complexity to the situation in Dragon Age,
They say a woman was in the rift behind you. No one knows who she was. Everything farther in the
hold on a second. Let's see. Oh, trials. That's right. The trials were added here by the they're added by the Trespasser DLC. If you don't have Trespasser, you won't be able to access these trial options. The trial options are basically difficulty toggles that add extra challenges to the games. If you toggle them on, enemies will change in different ways. Well, the game will change in different ways. Some of these affect the enemies, some of them don't. Let's just go down and list them. Even ground makes your enemies always scale to at least the same level as the Inquisitor. This is the most significant one, because in the previous two BioWare games, all enemies always scale to you. In the previous two Dragon Age games, this was pretty much the default option. In Inquisition, enemies no longer scale to your level to the player. They have maximum levels, and you can easily out-level them. But that's about it. And I'll be honest, when I first played Inquisition, I had no problem with that whatsoever. I actually did enjoy it. It made things feel more like an Eastern RPG, where you could just out-level stuff. But, as you can see below, in rare cases, turning this on significantly increases the chance of receiving special shipment rewards in your stronghold. Now, what those special shipment rewards do is give you additional items for you to use. items, or even crafting materials for you to use along your adventure, and they show up periodically. The more of these you have on, the more likely it is you will get these special items. So we're going to turn on even ground. There's also walk softly, where the enemies in the Inquisition may have new abilities and traits in combat. Again, significantly increases the chance of receiving special shipment rewards in your strongholds. This will give the enemies new special abilities than they had in the vanilla game, as well as randomly generate a promoted enemy that's generally going to be way tougher to take down than normal. Again, like, even ground and walk softly are a great combination for increasing difficulty at a moderate rate. Right? Like, you're still completely in control of the game, and you still get a bonus for doing it, but it's like, let's see, the rest of these are rest easy, you lose all focus as you rest or travel to a camp. Focus, we'll get to what focus is way later on the LP. Right now, we don't need to worry about what focus is. Reps during it, all healing potions heal only 1 health. This is basically the don't bother using potions run. Which is why it says significantly increase the chance. Travel light removes all supply caches from the game. Supply caches are item boxes around the world that refill your limited number of potions in the overworld when you run up to them. So removing these essentially limits how much you can heal while you're out adventuring. Yet it's only a slight increase in difficulty. Take it slow causes you to gain XP at half the normal rate. Admittedly, I've never used this one because I prefer leveling up fast. It just came to level cap as soon as possible in the Byra game. For fair weather friends, negative approval changes our followers are doubled. Okay, so here's the thing about approval. In this game in particular, approval is ranked into 3 categories: slight approval, regular approval, and great approval. Slight approval gives you +1 point, positive or negative, depending on, well, if your follower agreed with what you're doing or not. Average approval is plus or -5 for the same reason. And finally, great approval is plus or -20. So what this will do is make your negative approval like double up into -2, -10, and -40. That is really steep. That's a really steep punishment for your approval loss. And let me tell you, if your approval gets too low, a companion may threaten to literally leave your party and the game. So definitely watch out for that. At the same time, the point of approval is to roleplay your character and reflect how your choices will affect the rest of the world. So don't just, if you really, really, really do not care about roleplaying that much, then sure, just game the system and try to avoid, like, you won't act, like, you have to work your way. You have to really go out of your way to actually cause one of your companions to leave. It's not as difficult to keep them, like, in your party as I'm making it sound, I think. And Grizzly End significantly increases the chances of receiving social shipment rewards and strongholds, because this thing will cause grizzly bears to become more dangerous. I have actually never played with Grizzly End because I could never remember what their deal is. Alright. Oh, but there is one thing I should tell you. Bears in this game will be dangerous. Oh my god!
Stay behind me.
Alright, so we're gonna press R2 to attack here. Actually, we're gonna go stealth. Stealth will cause your companions to lose aggro. Since we're playing a ranged archer character, what's important to remember is to, okay, hold on a second.
It's over.
Drop your weapon. Now!
Okay, traditional Dragon Age gameplay relies on the MMO Holy Trinity, DPS, healer, tank. Cassandra is our tank, and I'm playing DPS. So, and healers really don't exist in this game. Actually, there is no healing magic in this game except for one spell. Because in the past Dragon Age games, there have been traditional party healers. But because healing in general is so powerful in these games, in those past games, BioWare really had a bit of a trouble balancing the players' ability to heal constantly against the type of bosses and encounters the player had. So for this game, they decided to limit the amount of heals you have from potions and get rid of healing magic entirely. So there's basically no real holy trinity, so to speak. But we'll get to our rough equivalent of the healer class later on this tutorial level.
All right. Have it your way.
Wait.
Oh.
I cannot protect you. And I cannot expect you to be defenseless. I should remember you agreed to come willingly.
Yeah, sometimes your companions will actually remark on the things you say earlier in a conversation.
Maker knows what we will face.
Where are all your soldiers?
At the forward camp, or fighting. We are on our own for now.
Yeah, you can walk up the dead bodies and loot their armor. Alright. Now, what we have here is a scout hat, which will actually increase our damage a little bit, since it gives +3 dexterity. Oh, stats. I should just say right now. Stats are handled very differently in Inquisition compared to the previous two games. In Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2, you could allocate your stat points by level up to whatever stat you wanted, but in Inquisition, all classes gain a set amount of stat points pre-assigned to two different stats, no matter what. Those stats are also how you basically do your damage. Abilities consume mana standard for powerful combat effects. Most abilities require time to pass before use. Right. Abilities are on a cooldown timer.
Out. If we flank them, we may gain the advantage.
Don't bother coming near me. Yeah. As you can see here, the main game for a archer is to make sure that there is absolutely no one that can interrupt his archery game. Getting up close and personal is like the last thing you want your archer to do. Well, in a tank situation, Cassandra's meant to basically dominate the attention. Tourists. This radar here you're seeing right now, this little orange circle, that's our I'm using the L3 button to do that.
Up on the hill. It attacks from a distance.
Stay away from me, buddy. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Oh yeah, the Codex. The Codex is basically just lore. Random snippets of lore that sometimes relate to what you're doing in the main plot, and sometimes do not. Oh, get away from me, buddy. Yeah. Alright. So yeah, that's basically,
To the rift. You can hear the fighting.
Who's fighting?
You'll see soon. We must help them.
Oh, now I remember what I was going to do. Options. I remember what I was going to do. I was completely distracted by the trials. Large. Alright, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I wanted to turn on the subtitles for my sake and for yours. Yeah. All right.
Quickly, before more come through.
I mean, they all.
What did you do?
I did nothing. The credit is yours.
I did that?
I closed that thing? How?
Whatever magic opened the breach in the sky also placed that mark upon your hand. I theorized the mark might be able to close the rifts that have opened in the breach's wake. And it seems I was correct.
Meaning it could also close the breach
You said-
itself.
Possibly. It seems you hold the key to our salvation.
Good to know. Here I thought we'd be ass deep in demons forever. Varric Tethras, rogue, storyteller, and occasionally unwelcome tag-along.
You're with the Chantry.
Are you with the Chantry or...
Was that a serious question?
Technically, I'm a prisoner, just like you.
I brought you here to tell your story to the Divine. Clearly, that is no longer necessary.
Yet, here I am. Lucky for you, considering current events.
Nice crossbow.
That's a nice crossbow you have there.
Isn't she? Bianca and I have been through a lot together.
You named your crossbow Bianca?
Of course. And she'll be great company in the valley.
Absolutely not. Your help is appreciated, Varric, but...
Have you been in the valley lately, Seeker? Your soldiers aren't in control anymore. You need me.
Ugh.
My name is Solus, if there are to be introductions. I am pleased to see you still live.
He means I kept that mark from killing you while you slept.
You seem to know a great deal about it all.
Solus is an apostate, well-versed in such matters.
Technically, all mages are now apostates, Cassandra. My travels have allowed me to learn much of the Fade, far beyond the experience of any circle mage. I came to offer whatever help I can give with the breach. If it is not closed, we are all doomed regardless of origin.
And what will you do once this is over?
One hopes those in power will remember who helped, and who did not. Cassandra, you should know, the magic involved here is unlike any I've seen. Your prisoner is no mage. Indeed, I find it difficult to imagine any mage having such power.
Understood. We must get to the forward camp quickly.
Well... Bianca's excited.
Interesting group we've got.
This way.
Bang, we have a full party
The road
now.
ahead is blocked.
We must move quickly.
Oh, huh. It's been such a long time since I played this game, I forgot they actually don't respond to you when you use stealth like that. Hey, yeah, when you control our primaries like this.
Demons ahead. Glad you brought me now, Seeker.
Press, I have no idea what that button actually is, to enter the tactical camera mode, which helps you better evaluate nearby enemies and plan your strategy. While tactical camera, use L to scan the battlefield, use R3 to cycle through targets, switch control between your party members to press X to issue orders to move to a specific spot or attack a specific enemy. Yeah. And then we'd see it play out. Alright. Yeah. It's basically an isometric view of the battle. I was trying to find the word for it. Where you can see the actions of all your characters and turn to sort of a turn-based, like a weight cam system. I really don't play with the tactical camera too often because I find myself not really needing it. Gathering resources. Gather herbs and metals out in the wild and use them to craft upgrades to your gear and potions. Explore and find as many varieties as you can. Yeah, crafting is a big part of this game. Like it would be an AR or Western RPG. Oh yeah, I should mention right now that Solus there just casts Barrier. Which, as I indicated to you before, was going to be... Oh. And what I just did there was a cross-class combo. What Solus did was cast Barrier, which is like a second bar of health atop your current bar of health. It'll take the hits for you while, you know, your partner is actually the one's getting hit.
So, I take it you're from the Free Marches. Oh, the accent. I'm from Kirkwall, but you're from, further east, maybe?
Very perceptive.
That's quite the ear you have.
I'm all kinds of impressive.
Yeah, sometimes randomly your party members will talk to you or another character out in the wild. And you'll be able to respond in kind. It's actually a really neat feature. It adds to the atmosphere of the whole party travel. Fuck, no. I really just went out of my way to go here just to show off that feature to you guys. Because you absolutely do not need to go up that particular route to pass the tutorial.
Are you doing all right? So, are you innocent?
I don't remember what happened.
That'll get you every time. Should have spun a story.
That's what you would have done.
It's more believable and less prone to result in premature execution.
Oh, cross-class combos. You see the shattered status, no, the frozen status that Greater Shade was put under?
I hope
If you have a
Beyond
certain
made it through
attack.
all this.
She's resourceful, Seeker.
We will see for ourselves at the forward camp. We're almost there.
If you say put an enemy on ice and they're frozen, and use an attack with great physical force, you can perform a shatter combo, and that'll deal bonus damage to the enemy. Those are really useful to have, and they were a feature introduced in Dragon Age 2. Though, in my experience, they're easier to pull off in this game.
Another rift!
We must seal it! Quickly! They keep coming! Help us!
What I just did there was temporarily stun every enemy around the rift. There we go, another shadow combo. But what I just did there was temporarily stun every enemy summoned by a Shade Rift. Temporarily stunned every enemy I encountered in the Shade Rift by doing this motion again. And after you defeat these enemies and close the fade for it, you completely disable the rift. That's going to be your main objective this entire game, closing fade rifts. Oh, yeah. Different races come with different perks. What you're seeing here is the human race perk that gives you 1 extra talent point when you begin the game. So, you know.
Rift is gone. Open the gate.
Right away, Lady Cassandra.
We are clear for the moment. Well done.
Whatever that thing on your hand is, it's useful.
We must prepare the soldiers.
Ah, here they come.
You made it. Chancellor Roderick, this is...
I know who he is. As Grand Chancellor of the Chantry, I hereby order you to take this criminal to Val Royeaux to face execution.
Order me? You are a glorified clerk. A bureaucrat.
And you are a thug, but a thug who supposedly serves the Chantry.
We serve the most holy, Chancellor. As you well know.
Justinia is dead. We must elect a replacement and obey her orders on the matter.
So, no one's in charge.
So none of you are actually in charge.
You killed everyone who was in charge! Call a retreat, Seeker. Our position here is hopeless.
We can stop this before it's too late.
How? You won't survive long enough to reach the temple, even with all your soldiers.
We must get to the temple. It's the quickest route.
But not the safest. Our forces can charge as a distraction while we go through the mountains.
We lost contact with an entire squad on that path. It's too risky.
Listen to me. Abandon this now, before more lives are lost.
How do you think we should proceed?
Now you're asking me what I think.
You have the mark?
And you are the one we must keep alive. Since we cannot agree on our own,
I say we charge. I won't survive long enough for your trial. Whatever happens, happens now.
Liliana, bring everyone left in the valley. Everyone.
On your head be the consequences, Seeker.
All right. Oh.
Be wary. Another fade rift.
How many rifts are there?
We must seal it if we are to get past!
Quickly then! Make it take you!
Sealed, as before. You are becoming quite proficient at this.
Let's hope it works on the big one.
Lady Cassandra, you managed to close the rift. Well done.
Do not congratulate me, Commander. This is the prisoner's doing.
Is it? I hope they're right about you. We've lost a lot of people getting you here.
I can't promise anything, but I'll try my best.
That's all we can ask. The way to the temple should be clear. Liliana will try to meet you there.
Then we'd best move quickly. Give us time, Commander.
Make her watch over you, for all our sakes.
But yeah.
Sacred ashes.
What's left of it?
That is where you walked out of the Faith, and our soldiers found you. They say a woman was in the rift behind you. No one knows who she was.
Oh.
Breach is a long way up.
You're here. Thank the Maker.
Liliana, have your men take up positions around the temple. This is your chance to end this. Are you ready?
I'll try. But I don't know if I can reach that, much less close it.
No. This rift was the first, and it is the key. Seal it, and perhaps we seal the breach.
Then let's find a way down. And be careful.
Now is the hour of our victory.
But really, it's the same thing.
Sacrifice.
What are we hearing?
No, it's the same thing.
At a guess, the person who created the breach.
You know this stuff is readily
Well,
reusable.
no.
I see it very
No, it's...
Magic could have
Yeah.
grown on Miriam beneath the temple, corrupted
Okay.
it.
It's evil. Whatever you do, don't touch it.
Keep the sacrifice still.
Someone help me! That is Divine Justinia's voice. Someone help me!
What's going on here?
That was your voice. Most Holy called out to you, but...
What's going on here?
Run when you can! Want them!
We have an intruder. Kill him now.
You were there! Who attacked? And the Divine, is she... Was this vision true? What are we seeing?
I don't remember.
Echoes of what happened here. The fade bleeds into this place. This rift is not sealed, but it is closed, albeit temporarily. I believe that with the mark, the rift can be opened, and then sealed properly and safely. However, opening the rift will likely attract attention from the other side.
That means demons! Stand ready!
God.
Now!
Alright, so this is our tutorial boss. And his purpose is to demonstrate this whole
Wear it down!
disable the fade rift in order to stun all the boss enemies
The demon is
mechanic.
vulnerable! Now! More coming through the rift!
Kind of uneventful, I know, but it's the first boss, so... Get away from me. Oh, my character died. Wow. Okay.
Now, seal the rift.
I genuinely was not paying attention, so I have never. I literally was not paying attention.
Do it!
That's super embarrassing. I was not paying attention because it's such a boring boss battle. Rest as just this really
I didn't know you were awake.
grating,
I swear.
stupid. Not the elf. I was just talking about the boss fight again. It's alright.
Don't worry about it. I only...
I beg your forgiveness and your blessing. I am but a humble servant. You're back in Haven, my lord. They say you saved us. The breach stopped growing, just like the mark on your hand. It's all anyone has talked about for the last 3 days.
Then the danger is over.
The breach is still in the sky, but that's what they say. I'm certain Lady Cassandra would want to know you've wakened. She said, at once.
And where is she?
In the Chantry, with the Lord Chancellor. At once, she said.
Man, that's a lot of audio breakup. Okay, so we're at Haven. Let's loot this first. Elford. Next, we'll take a look at the special shipments. Ah, yeah, the Bow of the Dragon and the Medium Armor of the Dragon. If you have the Flames of the Inquisition DLC pre-order bonus, or if you got the deluxe edition for PlayStation 4, you get this snazzy little outfit. This snazzy little outfit. I'm not gonna wear it yet. We'll get around to that later. And everyone's just kind of praising you.
That's him. That's the herald of our cusp.
That's him. He stopped the breach from getting any bigger. Chancellor Roderick says that the country has nothing to do with this.
Chain him. I want him prepared for travel to the capital for trial.
Disregard that and leave us.
You walk a dangerous line, Seeker.
The breach is stable, but it is still a threat. I will not ignore it.
Do what I could.
I did everything I could to close the breach. It almost killed me.
Yet you live. A convenient result insofar as you're concerned.
Have a care, Chancellor. The breach is not the only threat we face.
Someone was behind the explosion at the Conclave. Someone most holy did not expect. Perhaps they died with the others, or have allies who yet live.
I am a suspect?
You, and many others.
But not the prisoner.
I heard the voices in the temple. The Divine called to him for help.
So his survival, that thing on his hand, all a coincidence?
Providence. The Maker sent him to us in our darkest hour.
I want to give my character a character arc here, so...
Though all before me is shadow, it shall the Maker be my guide.
We lost everything then. Out of nowhere, you came.
The breach remains, and your mark is still our only hope of closing it.
This is not for you to decide.
You know what this is, Chancellor. A writ from the Divine, granting us the authority to act. As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn. We will close the breach, we will find those responsible, and we will restore order, with or without your approval.
This is the Divine's directive. Rebuild the Inquisition of old. Find those who will stand against the chaos. We aren't ready. We have no leader, no numbers. And now, no Chantry support.
But we have no choice. We must act now, with you at our side.
What is the Inquisition of old, exactly?
It preceded the Chantry. People who banded together to restore order in a world gone mad.
After, they laid down their banner and formed the Templar Order. But the Templars have lost their way. We need those who can do what must be done, united under a single banner once more.
But aren't you still part of the Chantry?
Is that what you see?
The Chantry will take time to find a new Divine. And then it will wait for her direction.
But we cannot wait. So many Grand Clerics died at the Conclave. No, we are on our own. Perhaps forever.
You're trying to start a holy war.
We are already at war. You are already involved. Its mark is upon you. As to whether the war is holy, that depends on what we discover.
What if I refuse?
You can go if you wish.
You should know that while some believe you chosen, many still think you guilty. The Inquisition can only protect you if you are with us.
We can also help you.
It will not be easy if you stay. But you cannot pretend it has not changed you.
If you're truly trying to restore order...
That is the plan.
Help us fix this before it's too late.
So yeah. Alright. So, title screen. That's the end of the tutorial. Well, the prologue, I should say. Yeah. So now we're in our spiffy new tutorial robes. We got some influence. And I think, right, okay. Weapons. Bow, the dragon. And we are the dragon. So yeah, you get some level 5 armor right as you basically get level 3 armor. It's really not game breaking or anything. It's just a small little boost. Nothing extraordinary. It's actually not significant. Just a nice looking cosmetic change. Something to make you look a little more stylish. A little bit more stylish. So let's taper off this video by just talking to the companions, one of the best features of Dragon Age.
So, now that Cassandra's out of earshot, are you holding up all right? I mean, you go from being the most wanted criminal in Thedas to joining the armies of the faithful. Most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
None of this shit should have happened.
You don't know the half of it. For days now, we've been staring at the breach, watching demons and maker knows what fall out of it. Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
If it was that bad, why did you stay? Cassandra said you were free to go.
I like to think I'm as selfish and irresponsible as the next guy, but this... Thousands of people died on that mountain. I was almost one of them. And now there's a hole in the sky. Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
It's pure luck that I escaped.
Good luck or bad? You might want to consider running at the first opportunity. I've written enough tragedies to recognize where this is going. Heroes are everywhere.
Why did you do that?
A hole in the sky. That's beyond heroes. We're going to need a miracle.
At this point, I should inform you all that Varric is actually a returning character from the previous Dragon Age game, Dragon Age 2. In that game, he was also a party member. Yeah, Dragon Age and Mass Effect, even KOTOR, Bioware tends to like reusing old party members in their newer games. Partly because of fan approval, and partly because they can still tell an interesting story using that new character. I mean, with an old character. Observe.
Need something?
I have a question about Hawk, the protagonist of the previous game, Dragon Age 2.
I've read your Tale of the Champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
Yeah, this one.
In the book, you say that first enchanter Orsino turned himself into a giant monster made of corpses. How? Why?
Do I look like an expert on magical weirdness to you? Well, I can't tell you how. For the why, all I can say is he was desperate.
There is no way Hawk really could have killed the Arishok. It would have started a war with the Qunari.
I was told later that the Qunari disavowed his actions. Apparently, the Arishok didn't get permission before he attacked Kirkwall, and the Qun didn't want another exalted march. When they finally sent a ship to haul the Red Dreadnought away, they just said, "We will never speak of this again." As far as I can tell, that's the Qun's version of an apology.
For the Orsino option, that only comes up if you imported a world state. I'm sorry. A world state where Hawk sided with the mages at the end of the Dragon Age 2 game. And the Arishok option only comes up if Hawk decided to fight the Arishok one-on-one at the climax of the middle of that game.
Where are the rest of Hawk's associates now?
Meryl decided to look after the elves left homeless by the fighting. She's done a pretty good job of keeping them away from the mages and Templars, so far. I guess she has plenty of practice avoiding stupid human battles with her own Dalish clan. Fenris has kept himself busy, hunting down the Tevinter slavers who came south to prey on the refugees. I'm not sure exactly where he is at the moment. You can usually follow the trail of corpses, though. Isabella went back to the raiders. She's calling herself an admiral now. I don't know if she's actually in charge or just has a really big hat. Might be the same thing, honestly. Sebastian went back to Starkhaven. I'm sure he's boring all sorts of people there. Hawk's little brother was off on some warden business near the Anderfell's border last I knew. Aveline is still guard captain. I'm pretty sure Kirkwall would fall into the sea if she quit her job.
Alright then. I wonder how much I should actually talk to the previous characters.
Need something?
The red lyrium we found at the temple seemed to upset you.
My brother Bartrand and I sort of discovered red lyrium during an expedition in the Deep Roads. We located an ancient thaig, so old it barely looked dwarven. There was this idol there made of it. Bartrand brought it back to the surface, and, well, everything's gone downhill from there.
So what is it? Just another kind of lyrium?
The red stuff is lyrium like a dragon is a lizard. It's not just a different color. It has a whole host of weirdness all its own. I've written to every mining cast house in Orzammar. No one's seen this stuff before or knows where it came from.
What makes it special?
Regular lyrium can mess you up pretty badly, but you have to ingest it for that to happen. Red lyrium messes with your mind when you're just near the stuff. You hear singing, get violent, paranoid, and then it does creepy shit. Makes things float, brings statues to life. It also turned Kirkwall's Knight Commander to lyrium. Everyone's been kept at least 100 paces from it since.
How did the red lyrium get in the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
I don't know. So as far as I knew, the only piece to make it to the surface was destroyed. And the location of the thaig it came from is a secret. It Did someone find more of it in the deep roads? That's not a
And the rest says it's just weird. And
I think
shoot.
that's enough on Red Lyrium.
Shoot.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject. Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
You from Ferelden? Orlais?
Free marches, born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no, Kirkwall's not that bad.
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant?
I'm a businessman. My family has a seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
If you've run a spy network, why is Liliana our spy master?
To be honest with you, she's just a better spy master. The truly great ones can keep their distance. They don't get attached to their people. Me, I always wind up babysitting my informants and worrying about their families. We're in better hands with her.
You're an author? What kind of books have you written?
I've tried my hands in a few genres. My crime serials are my most popular. Hard in Hightown, guards breaking the rules to get things done. The Tale of the Champion is the most famous thing I've written, or infamous maybe. I started a romance serial once, Swords and Shields, but to be honest, I don't have a knack for romances. Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says something unfortunate about me personally.
What sort of shops do you own?
Actually, we don't own shops. That was just an example. Mostly we invest in money lenders. Auction houses, a few mercenary companies, a couple of smithies. I think we own half a beet plantation in Ravane somewhere. Most of that's my brother's doing. Bartrand had business sense. Not much tact, but loads of business sense.
How do you and Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The guy responsible used to be a friend of mine. The Seeker had questions about that, and I had answers.
Where did you get that crossbow? I've never seen one like it.
Bianca? She's one of a kind. There's a hidden shop in Kirkwall.
And oh yeah, you like big fat fart.
I found her in a barrel labeled swag. The owner sold her for a ham sandwich and a pair of yellow ruffled pants.
Who is she named for?
I can't tell you.
And the reason for that is?
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave it at that.
Yeah, we really need to.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
Oh, after talking to her about the Red Lyrium, you get this collectathon quest where you have to destroy some deposits around the, basically around the game world. It's not very interesting. Don't try to gun for it. Just do it as you play the game. Alright, if Varric is out here, then the only other person to talk to would be Solus, hopefully.
The chosen of Andraste. A blessed hero sent to save us all.
Am I riding in on a shining steed?
I would have suggested a griffon, but sadly they're extinct. Joke as you will, posturing is necessary. I've journeyed deep into the Fade in ancient ruins and battlefields to see the dreams of lost civilizations. I've watched as hosts of spirits clash to reenact the bloody past in ancient wars both famous and forgotten. Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
What do you mean ruins and battlefields?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time has a history. Every battlefield is steeped in death. Both attract spirits. They press against the veil, weakening the barrier between our worlds. When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
You fall asleep in the middle of ancient ruins. Isn't that dangerous?
I do set wards. And if you leave food out for the giant spiders, they are usually content to live and let live.
I've never heard of anyone going so far into the Fade. That's extraordinary.
Thank you. It's not a common field of study for obvious reasons. Not so flashy as throwing fire or lightning. The thrill of finding remnants of a 1,000-year-old dream? I would not trade it for anything.
Yikes, it's so weird.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate surrounded by Chantry forces in the middle of a major rebellion.
That's so stupid.
Cassandra has been accommodated, but you understand my caution.
Cassandra trusts you. She won't let anyone put you into a circle against your will.
Thank you. I appreciate the thought. But now let us hope either the mages or the Templars have the power to seal the breach. Close. Greetings.
What do you know about the Fade?
A great deal, for my wondering. There are few hard facts, but I can share what I have learned.
I'd like to know more about the breach.
Simply put, it is a tear in the veil between this world and the Fade, allowing spirits to enter the world physically. Small tears occur naturally when magic weakens the veil, or when spirits cluster in an area that has seen many deaths. But your mark allows you to exert some control over the breach. That means it was created deliberately.
I'd like to know more about the veil.
Circle mages call it a barrier between this world and the Fade. But according to my studies in ancient elven lore, that is a vast oversimplification. Without it, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
It sounds like it would be wonderful.
And dangerous. But yes, a world where imagination defines reality. Where spirits are as common as trees or grass. Instead, spirits are strange and fearful. And the Fade is a terrifying world touched only by mages and dreamers. I am glad that I'm not alone in seeing the beauty of such a world, along with the obvious peril.
I'd like to know more about demons.
The Chantry says that demons hate the natural world and seek to bring their chaos and destruction to the living. But such simplistic labels misconstrue their motivations, and in so doing, do all a great disservice. Spirits wish to join the living. And a demon is that wish gone wrong.
Is there a way to coexist? To live with them, if not in peace, at least without such active confrontation?
Not in the world we know today. The veil creates a barrier that makes true understanding most unlikely. But the question is a good one, and it matters that you thought to ask.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
And that's Solus. I've always liked Solus at this point of the game. It's just like listening to his perspective on stuff. And Varric's a riot. He's a hoot. He's funny. So, before we end the video officially, I'm going to do one last thing here. And that's to initiate my PlayStation Plus option. synchronize collectibles. This will synchronize your collectibles across games by downloading collectibles that you previously uploaded and uploading newly acquired ones. Would you like to synchronize them now? Yeah, if you have a PlayStation Plus account active, then all your collectibles from across all your saves will be uploaded to the cloud, which means you'll be able to reacquire them whenever you start a new character.
I heard Seeker Pentecost might try to Master Dennett in the hinterlands.
Oh, and who are you to be fishing around for what the higher-ups are doing?
Back in Ansburg, my uncle was 5th Praetor.
And what's that mean for you back in Arnsburg?
Honestly,
I'm not going to bore you with the details, but essentially we just got a whole lot, a whole lot of things and collectibles, but more importantly, crafting things and collectibles from the golden nug over there, the golden nug statue. Which means Haven is just going to be quite a breeze. Quite interesting. I don't mind using this stuff at the very beginning of the game, because I've played this game a lot of times, and it's quite fun to use the golden nug schematics for the early game. So, that's going to wrap it up for today, for tonight. Our hero now, alone, has apparently decided to join the Inquisition. The budding Inquisition. It's not official yet. We still need to actually get our legs in gear, and we need to actually go check out what the Chantry has to say about us before we do anything further. But in the next video, we'll be focused on gathering even more power, and perhaps we might read a few new faces that can bolster our party members. Right now we're at like 3 party members, so I'd like to get some more party members in the next video as well. If you enjoyed today's video, leave a like and subscribe. Look forward to the next part, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.